Hello folks, welcome to Motorsport Detective. I'm Alex Burnham. For this episode I've got a photograph that's quite special to me. Here it is in its frame, and it's a photograph taken in 1928 of a British racing driver called William Grover Williams. Now this photo was a gift to me a few years ago from my colleague Stephen Wisdom, who I do a lot of history work with. He gave me this photo after we've been doing a lot of work about Williams and both his racing career and his work during the Second World War. And so I wanted to find out a bit more about this photograph. Now I know when it was taken because on the back the photographer has written some very helpful details, and so I'm able to use these as the starting point for my investigation. Williams Bugatti Type 35C, and it was taken at Comminges. So Williams Bugatti Type 35C was all quite self-explanatory. The driver, William Grover Williams, car, Bugatti Type 35C, and the year 1928 makes a lot of sense as well. That's when Williams was at the peak of his abilities and was winning races all over Europe. So here is my list of the 1928 Grand Prix events, and I was hoping to find the Comminges Grand Prix on there. Unfortunately, it doesn't come up under that name. We've got a whole list of other stuff from other areas, but none of them seem to be the correct place. So I'm going to search through some of these events to see if I can work out which one it really is. So another website has it down as the Grand Prix of Comminges, so I can use this to help find which event it was. It has listed Williams as the winner of the 28 event, but then it also says in here that it was the French Grand Prix of 1928, which means it was probably not listed under its original name but listed as the Grand Prix of France. If I go back to my list of 1928 events, down here we have the Grand Prix de la ACF, which means the Grand Prix of France effectively, and here we are, yes. So Williams won it in his Bugatti Type 35C, but this one has it down as a race of Saint-Gaudens. French Wikipedia has come to my aid as well. Here it says that 28 was the Grand Prix de la ACF, won by Willie Grover as well. So that confirms things. So I've now got the correct event. I just need to find out a bit more about it. Here you can see W. Williams won in his Bugatti Type 35C, but you can see it wasn't a very big race entry list. In fact, there are only 8 finishers, 3 who did not finish, and then a huge great list of cars that did not even appear, which is a very old thing. This website shows the 1928 Grand Prix Championship season, and it's got an interesting little footnote. On the French Grand Prix section, it basically says that due to poor entries in 26 and 27, the 1928 race was dropped as an official Grand Prix, which meant that a lot of people probably wouldn't turn up anyway. This meant that only one Bugatti arrived, with Williams at the wheel, and only a handful of private entries. It was, however, turned into a Formula Libre, which basically meant no rules. Any car, any weight, any engine size. So you do get a variety of machines turning up in 28. Motorsport magazine has a useful page on the event, as it lists the entrants and the winners and that sort of thing. But crucially, it has this really useful map, which means I'll be able to find where the event took place. Like many Grand Prix of the 20s and 30s, this took place on closed-off public roads that wound through the countrysides and through towns and villages. And so I'll be able to use this map to plot that route. So I've found the area using that map from the Motorsport website. If we zoom in, we can see we're down in the Pyrenees area of France, and this is where the race took place. If I overlay the race map onto the Google Earth aerial photos, we can see where the race took place and plot the circuit. We've now got a complete map of the race, and so we can zoom in to any point and see that most of the roads that we used are still there today. Some of them might have changed slightly, but in general the circuit is still drivable. So while searching online, I found other photos. Although they don't always show the exact same spot, I thought maybe if I could place some of those, I might be able to get little reference points that might help me work out where my photograph was taken. By using Google Street View, I've been able to link up some of the photos that are taken with exact positions on the road. Here you can see a photo of the Bugatti coming around this tight hairpin, and the buildings have not changed significantly, so you can see exactly where this photo was taken. This is a brilliant photo of Williams in that 28 race, and I've been able to locate that this white Citroen van is almost on the exact same spot. Google Earth is a wonderful thing. Here we see cars crossing over a small bridge, and again, using the Street View, I've been able to find that bridge and link up the period photo with the modern day map. So I'm starting to get a real handle on what the circuit looks like. Now this is brilliant. Look, I've found a photo of the grandstand that was sort of a start-finish straight, and it's still there. Big concrete grandstands that people could sit in are still alongside the road even today, which is a brilliant little thing to find. Now this is really interesting. I found this photo of a footbridge over the racetrack to allow locals to pass from inside to outside of the circuit, and I've been able to place it thanks to this roadside memorial or shrine or whatever that might be. Now the little wooden bridge is interesting because it's very similar to the little wooden bridge in my photo of Williams. So I thought perhaps that footbridge had been the same one as in my photo, but after the point where that footbridge is, the only right hand bend, well, you can see from the street view that it drops off suddenly on the side of the road there. It looks completely different to the area in my photo, so I don't think this is it, but maybe I can locate that by just working out some geographical features around it. So this photo here shows William Grover driving past the pit grandstands, and there's this sort of like timing board structure on the left hand of the circuit. Now I found the spot where this one was. Structure is pretty much gone now. There is a building there which may have been related, but the pit stands are still there, so I know we've got the correct place. But the reason I mention all this, on my photograph in the background there is what looks very similar to that structure, and then on the other side of the road there are what look like those shelters from the grandstand. So it's possible that there was another bridge around here and that my photo was taken close to the start-finish line. Again, this photo clearly shows the grandstands on one side and that timing structure on the left, which really does show the building a lot better, and I'm pretty certain it's the same one that's in my photograph of Williams. So this photo I've managed to place quite successfully. What I wanted was a right-hand bend with the grandstand and the timing structure in the background. Now if we follow the course down a little bit, we've got this quite obvious right-hand bend that's now a roundabout. So this is the spot where I think my photograph was taken. It's changed quite a lot in the intervening almost 100 years, but it pretty much matches. We've got this right-hand bend with the bank on the side, and we've got in the distance where the top of the grandstands would be, and that timing tower further down as well. So I'm pretty confident that this is the place. So there we have it, the location that my photograph was taken. On the edge of Saint-Gaudens, we've got this racetrack running right on the edge of the town, and there on this roundabout just past the pits we have the spot where Williams, eventual race winner, would pass by. So there we have it. I found the exact spot where this photograph was taken back in 1928. Now maybe if circumstances allow, in 2028 I can revisit the spot and take a comparing photo. But until then I'm pleased to know exactly where this came from and what race it was showing. If you've enjoyed finding out a little bit of motorsport history from that mystery item, then please do search for more Motorsport Detective films here on YouTube and find me on social media. Thank you very much.